Can police interview a suspect about a different crime after they invoke the right to counsel? Hey guys, my name is Anthony Bandiero, bringing you the Roadside Chat. If you don't know me, I'm an attorney and senior legal instructor for Blue to Gold Law Enforcement Training. I travel around the nation and teach cop search and seizure. If you have not been to one of my trainings or my webinars online, live online, please join me. I think you'll have a lot of fun. I try to make this search and seizure stuff digestible for those who are not really as into search and seizure as I am. All right, so the question is, can police interrogate a suspect about a different crime after an invocation of counsel? This question comes from an officer in California. My answer will generally be the same, no matter where you work. All right. The cop says, we had a stabbing incident in our town. The suspect was identified and took several weeks to track him down and arrest him. After he was arrested and booked into jail, detectives went to interview him about the stabbing. He invoked his right to an attorney, and the interview ended. So far, so good. A week later, so 7 days later, while the suspect was still in custody, an officer wanted to go to the jail to interview him about an unrelated fraud case. There was some difference of opinion as to whether this could be done, right? Because he did invoke his right to counsel a week prior. However, some thought that since the officer wanted to interview him about a different case, it would be okay. My understanding is when the suspect invoked his right to an attorney, he's off limits to further interrogations for any case for 14 days if he remains in custody and so forth, right? All right, let me settle this dispute. So here is the legal rule. According to the U.S. Supreme Court, when a suspect invokes the right to counsel, when they want an attorney, the interrogation must end, right? And they're off limits for 14 days post Miranda custody. I'm gonna read some quotes about why the courts have decided this, right? To kind of let the person have like a cooling off period to get reacclimated to life, and they can go, gives them 2 weeks to go find an attorney. But generally speaking, they're off limits. Now, there are exceptions. Number one is they bring their attorney with them, and you can interview them because now they have an attorney, right? Or they come to you, and they say, you know what, I changed my mind. They can definitely change their mind. I mean, I've seen where cops are like, no, once you say you want an attorney, we can't talk to you unless your attorney's present. That's not true. They can always change their mind, but it has to be their choice, right? So here, the suspect was basically reapproached after a week. And it doesn't matter that it's a different crime because the right to counsel is not offense specific. Let me read you a couple quotes from a case called People versus Bridgeford out of California, but this case, Bridgeford's going to refer to the United States Supreme Court. In Edwards v. Arizona, the High Court held that once counsel is requested, the suspect is not subject to further interrogation by the authorities until counsel has been made available to him, and the counsel has to be in the room, right? Just let's clarify that, not just assigned counsel. Unless the accused himself initiates further communication, exchanges, or conversation with the police, they always have the right to change their mind, okay? The Edwards rule is not offense specific. That is the problem. Under Miranda, right? Under Miranda, it's not offense specific. So basically, if they say, I don't want to talk, right? They want the right to silence, or I want an attorney. They are not subject to any interrogation about any crime committed up to that point. I do say up to that point because there is a debate about whether or not if they commit a crime after the fact, can they be interrogated by that? Most of these cases that we see on this issue is when they commit crimes in jail, the corrections officers then interview them about that crime, and the courts have upheld it. I think that's the right answer. But they are not subject to interrogation about any crime up to that point. See how powerful this is? The Supreme Court noted law enforcement needed to know with certainty when a renewed interrogation is lawful after a suspect invokes his right to counsel. Shatzer, which is another Supreme Court case, held that a period of 14 days must pass, which provides plenty of time for the suspect to get reacclimated to his normal life, to consult with friends and counsel, and to shake off any residual coercive effects of his prior custody. So we have the 14-day rule, okay? So, also, the way I read this rule is that, let's say that he is released from jail after 1 day. Can we then go reapproach him? No. Schatzter, to me, is 14 days means 14 days, right? It's 14 days post Miranda custody, which is, the guy's in custody. So I don't think the next day is going to work. All right, there's your answer. I hope this quick video has helped you get it right every single time. I want you to do me a favor. If you like these videos, the only feedback that I get is from your comments and the subscribe button. A lot of people watch these videos, but they don't subscribe. Hey, look, I want you to get the information. If you don't want to subscribe, don't subscribe. But if you do see value in here, give me some feedback and subscribe so you get notified when I post these new videos. All right? All right, guys. I'll see you next time. Thank you.